We know this because our light is red. We know this because Skittle has glued herself in the most inconvenient of places.
No, she loves her mom.
That's not my theory. I think she loves the cuddles.
She loves her mom cuddles.
Yeah, right. Yeah, whatever you say. Anyway, it's 11 o'clock, which means...
It's Elevensies.
With Lisa and Anton. The late morning show, fashionably late, well, actually bang on time today. So we get people are joining us already. So there you go. It's marvellous. It's Thursday, and it's Elevensies with Lisa and Anton, and I'm Anton.
And I'm Lisa.
And this is Skittle. If anybody would like Skittle, please just drop us a postcard.
No, she is not up for grabs.
She is, certainly.
She's
trying to destroy our house.
Well, there is that, but she is adorable. Good morning, Pam.
In small doses.
So what's our Thoughtful Thursday
Well,
topic?
yes, because it's Thursday, so it's Thoughtful Thursday. And...
What are we going to think about? Talk about?
I have to say, Wendy has raised the power of T to the power of hank you. I love it. She's got all mathematical on it. Hi, Wendy. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Yes,
good morning.
Happy full moon. It's the Capricorn
It is.
full moon.
We went out. We did a little bit of magic last night. We caught the moon in our beautiful moon keepers.
Yes, we keep the Capricorn moon because it's the prosperity moon. So that's good.
and she was especially resplendent.
Yes, she was very
Especially resplendent. So that's wonderful. I mean, the moon is actually technically full in the daylight today.
Right.
But obviously we don't see it until this evening. So either last night or tonight are the real optimum.
Right. So last night it was waxing, and tonight it will be
just
waning, but it's still going to be full.
It's only just bloody waning, you know.
Yeah.
So, but great, most auspicious time for magic anyway. But we're not talking about magic today, are we? Or
No.
well, we are in a way.
Well, we are, but we just wanted to,
We thought
wish a full moon happiness.
Well,
right?
absolutely, yes. Full moon blessings.
We thought we'd talk about Thoughtful Thursdays. We'd talk about how to get the most from a psychic reading, both as practitioners
Yes.
and as querents, which is what the technical name for the person
Who comes for the
with the
reading
query
Yes.
or the question
The seeker.
is called. The seeker of the knowledge or the information is called the querent.
Yep. Querent, however you like
So
to
some
say.
people may not have
Tomato,
even
tomato.
known that, but
Learn something every day.
the
Good
person
morning,
who's
Savannah.
asking the question, the questioner.
Don't you just love it when you sit there and say, "Hey, how you doing? How can I help you today?" Well, you tell me. Oh yeah.
Well,
It's
no,
going to
we
be
want-
like that, is it?
We want to help people get the most out of a reading. And I understand, as a reader, that they're not coming to you for a psychic interview, right?
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
They don't want to be questioned, like, do you have children? Are you in a happy marriage? How old are you? What sign are you? Blah, blah, blah. They don't want to be
I will sometimes
questioned
ask people
like
sign.
that. I'll just tell them.
Well, you do. You're better at it than me. I'll be honest. Signs elude me
morning.
sometimes because I get all sorts of
Well,
weird
you see,
stuff.
their rising sign is the problem, yeah.
That's...
But on the other hand, you have a finite amount of time to work through whatever the issue is.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
And the issue is usually one of four groups, right?
Mhm.
We have four elements. We have four topics.
Probably.
People are usually there about relationship,
Mm-hmm.
finance,
Mm-hmm.
health,
Mm-hmm.
or spirituality.
Yeah, and career can fit into finance
Finance.
and relationships. Yeah.
So
And
those are
probably health too.
Those
if
are
your
the
job's
four.
killing you.
Those are the four big topics, right?
Mhm.
And they're
Good morning,
usually
Gilda.
kind of in that order: relationship, finance, health, and spirituality. So, as a reader, if you can address something in those four categories, your spiritual life's doing this, your health is blah blah blah, your financial situation, security, blah blah blah, your relationships, plural, because it's not just romantic; it's also family, friends, whatever. So as a reader, if you can address those four categories, you're probably going to help the person.
Fair comment.
So there are people who are used to getting readings who are coming because they genuinely want that counsel.
There are, yeah.
And then there are people who are trying it out for the first time.
Oh, my friend brought me.
My friend brought me. I don't know why I'm here.
I haven't got a clue.
How
I'm a
can
bit frightened.
How can I help you? Well, you tell me. You know, can you read minds?
I can
No,
read
but
yours
I know
right
what I'm
now.
thinking.
That's it. That's not helpful.
But I think where I would start with those people is saying, you know, well, you've come in my room today to have a chat with me, and I'd like you to get the most out of it. While I understand that you don't want to give me details, you'd like me to give you details, why don't you give me a topic? For example, the issue is career.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a topic of what you'd like to spend our time on, because I could talk to you for an hour about all kinds of different things that you may not be here to find out about, that Spirit wants to tell you about. Yeah. So why don't you set the tone or set the topic and say to me, the issue is health, or the issue is finances, or the issue is my marriage, whatever it is. Give me the topic that you'd like to focus on so that I make sure I cover things with you.
At least put a focus there. At least put a focus there. You know, and maybe you'll get other stuff too. But
when somebody has a half-hour reading, I will usually give them 20 minutes and then say for the last 10 minutes, did you have any other questions? Mm-hmm. Right? Because something has maybe turned up that they didn't know was going to turn up, and now they'd like a little information about that kind of side street thing there. Mm-hmm. So I do a Celtic cross, and then I do 4 other little 3-card
You do your
readings.
Own little modified
I do a 22
yeah.
card spread.
Yeah.
But each reader is very different, and people have to understand that too, right? Everybody that reads at the store has had to read me as their interview. So I know they're a good reader. However, it's like becoming used to a doctor.
Yeah, everybody has a different bedside manner.
Right, and you don't want to switch doctors.
Some people are brutally direct, and some people are far more sensitive and empathic, if you will. You know, it's what style suits you. Mm-hmm.
But I really think that getting the most out of a reading is as much on the person who's coming in to get the reading as it is on the person delivering the information.
Well, let me just say this much. If you've come there with the attitude, well, no, you tell me, you're already closed off. You've got that skeptical, I built this bloody brick wall. So, you know, if that's where you want to be, then sometimes Spirit will say, well, that's where you're going to be, you know. Unless you're actually open to receiving any kind of information at all, why are you even here? Why are you here? You know, if this is some kind of battle of wits, if you will, or whatever. Sometimes, though, I will say, and it's taken me by surprise, because honestly, when I'm reading, I honestly have nothing to do with it. I just open my mouth and words fall out. But the walls talk, and sometimes somebody needs a shot across the bows to square them up because they have a real issue. They have something that does desperately need to be addressed. And sometimes Spirit will slap them straight across the face with something so direct, like, whoa, hey, you know.
Right. So out of left field, too. Sometimes they're not prepared to get the depth of reading that they're going to get, you know?
Savannah says, oh my goodness, I'd be so nervous to read for you. Would you? Why? Don't be nervous. Well, actually, nerves are a good thing because it means you take what you do seriously. And so, yeah.
As people are saying, oh my gosh, I'd be intimidated. Well, the thing is, we have almost a 30-year reputation for being really good psychic readers. So this isn't just necessarily about me testing the person. Mm-hmm. It's not so much about that because, you know, I don't expect them to have some amazing revelation about me. It's more about seeing their style, technique, how they get the cards to the table, their level of compassion, how they're going to spend that time, how they communicate, and you know, are they sincere? And of course, do they have a talent? Because a lot of people will come in, I want to work here, I want to read here, and they really don't have an understanding of the tool they're using, whatever that tool might be. Because we don't just have tarot readers.
It's true.
We have people who do other things. And, I've said to people, well, I'm not really looking for anyone right now other than an evidentiary medium. Oh, well, I'm that.
Okay.
But they don't know what that means. Or they'll ask me first,
What's one of them?
What's an evidentiary medium?
Okay.
Well, a medium who gives evidence, meaning, oh, this is your brother Tom. He says the key to the strong box is in Dad's wallet, tucked away in his nightstand. That's evidence. Not, oh, your dad loves you and he's proud of you. Yeah, okay, that's a wonderful message, but that's not evidentiary, you know? I've seen the difference. And it's not that the one who's saying your dad loves you and respects you
I love the
isn't
ones
bringing
going,
comfort, but...
This message is for somebody in the audience with shoes on.
Yeah, no,
Shoes.
stop.
And first name of B. Oh, I'm getting it now.
Stop.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. Gallery mediumship is a whole different ballgame. Anyway, no, so it's not about grilling the poor psychic to make sure they're psychic. That's important. But I'll know if the person is a fraud or not. And if the person isn't sincere, how could I let them represent us? Right? Because we really are a little spiritual family. You know, there are 12 people working really hard. And if someone isn't sincere or talented, then...
I think the biggest deciding factor for us, and I have very little to do with this. I mean, I'm just the chief cook and bottle washer, you know, and do the tech stuff. But Lisa really looks at, I mean, our store, and it's interesting, somebody said this, they put a comment. Lisa, I don't know if you guys have noticed, we put a walk round of the store. Lisa did the crystals walk round, so I popped that up last night. So do check that out. It's quite cool. It's only
our YouTube station's really starting to grow.
Yeah, we're starting to get some interest in YouTube, which is good. So we'd like more of that. So do please tell your friends. But like, comment, subscribe, and all that. But seriously, I think the person said, you know, oh, I love the store, you know, and that's what people say. You know, they love the store because the store really does mirror that back. It is a place of love.
And
it's a
safety.
Place and safety, and honestly, a judgment-free zone. Unless you come with malintent.
Yes, we had a very negative experience yesterday. Some drunken person tried to assault one of our people.
That's not nice.
Had to call the police.
That's not nice, but you know
they weren't getting a reading. They were just there to be troubled. Yes.
Yeah, they were a troubled soul.
But
anyway, so yeah, it's a place of warmth. It's a place of love. It's a place of safety, and largely judgment-free zone, as I said, unless you come with malintent. You know, so it is a place where, you know, she's looking for somebody. If you know they're doing a reading, are you truly coming at this from a place of love? Do you love this? Is this your passion? Is this what you do?
Do you want to do this?
Do you really, really want to do? Are you coming at this from your heart? And that's the key. And you can't fake that. You can't fake that. You absolutely can't fake that.
And I want to make sure they're not the extortionists.
Oh God, no.
You know, right? Like, you have to buy this, or
I'll
burn a candle for you for $100 or whatever.
Get the hell out.
I'll never forget there were this is ages ago now.
There's some shady people.
There was some shady Romany
let's just back up. We got nothing against Romans.
No,
absolutely not at all.
I'm just saying, if somebody remembers them,
there was somebody pretending probably to be that, weren't they?
Well, more than likely. They were downtown somewhere. And a young girl, college student, came in and she was crying. And I said, what on earth is the matter? And she said, I had a reading and I have a dark spirit around me. And I said, well, who told you that? And she said, well, a palm reader downtown. Then it got worse. Palm reader told her they could remove the curse if she paid them a particular amount of money. I think it was like $200 or something. And she didn't have that money. So they said to her, are those earrings gold? Yes. So give me your earrings and I will do it for that. They were her grandmother's earrings. So we called the police.
Makes me mad just thinking about it.
I know. So we called the police, and we had the young girl go back down there with the policeman and get her earrings back.
It's probably Officer Sheffield again.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's lovely.
But
I think he's retired
I'm just saying,
now.
so that's one of the reasons why I'm going to read somebody. Because, well, yes, certainly sometimes during a reading, something will come up for the person's healing or well-being.
Maybe
and
uncomfortable.
The reader might, the reader might suggest, maybe you should carry a piece of citrine, or maybe you would like to read this particular book, or, you need to really smudge your house. And we can't give away everything. While we do give away small crystals, sometimes the reader might suggest a purchase, but it's not contingent upon the healing. In other words, they've given the advice. They will try to empower the person how to achieve their goal, but they're not going to say you have to buy this $100 crystal ball in order to achieve that goal.
Yeah, no, we don't. Extortion is not. That's not a place of love. That's not. Yeah, we don't do that.
But
and if we caught somebody doing that in our store, they wouldn't be with us.
No,
they absolutely would not. I assure you of that.
But I think again, from the other point of view, from the person who is going anywhere to get a reading, whether it's the Ren Fair or a street fair or a reading with some big important poobah that they've paid hundreds of dollars for. I get that they don't want to feed the reader, but be open. Go in and say, the issue is, and this is why I'm here today. What details can you give me? How can you help me? Don't let the reader give you an interview. It's not about saying, oh, well, this and this question, this and this question, this and this question, and now that I have done all my research on you, I can make a judgment. It's not like that at all. However, the reader might need to clarify some things. This is a relationship issue and there are 3 people in it, ? Sometimes...
to get a bit awkward there.
Sometimes it has to be, you have to get a little bit of detail.
Yeah, awkward things sometimes have to be confronted. They do. But, I can only speak personally how I come at it. I always try to come at everything from a place of love and a place of positivity. I don't do doom and gloom. There may be a very difficult situation, but that doesn't mean there isn't a positive outcome possible from that very difficult situation, no matter how it is, what it is, ultimately. There's usually a silver lining.
This is a very good point. A lot of the readers who are not necessarily ethical are not without talent, right? So they may know, there's this problem. And, and they do the gloom and doom thing. Well, your husband is cheating on you, but before he leaves you, he's going to get this other girl pregnant. And they, this, all these horrible things. If you want me to fix it, all you have to do is pay me. Yeah. And I'll light this black candle or I'll do whatever.
No.
No. Yeah. We don't want readers who try to have power over others. We want readers who are trying to empower others.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Rather than me try and take your problem, I can't fix your problem.
No.
I don't, frankly, have enough problems of my own that I need to be working on without necessarily working on anybody else's. But I hope that Spirit will illuminate to you the information that you need to address your problem yourself, to actually find a solution to your problem. And that's good. That's positive. That's a way forward. Even if you just need to have an attitudinal change towards what is perceived as a problem, might not necessarily be a problem, Sometimes even a kick up the ass can be a step forwards. It really can. Yep. You just don't see it like that right then, yep. Because you're hanging on to something that your energies...
You can't remember what life was like before you had the problem.
And
so you don't know what happiness feels like anymore, and,
well, true.
You can't. So, maybe you've come because of that.
Absolutely,
you've exhausted human information and logic, and now you would like some spiritual information and some esoteric knowledge to fix your problem. And sometimes that's all that's needed.
Yep.
A little bit of something extra or a different perspective, because we all do see from where we're standing. And if we're in the middle of a shitstorm, you might not be able to see the clear sky. So you need somebody who says, okay, come over here. Here's how you hose yourself down. And here's how you move forward, you know.
Here's some shower gel. Let's get that off you, shall we?
And they may, again, just because a reader is suggesting some tools like a chakra balancing or some sort of further treatment, maybe you really do need an aura cleansing, or you do need to go smudge your house, or whatever it is.
You do need to learn to meditate, so maybe guided meditations could be
so there may be some other tools, and they may not be able to give you all those tools for free. After all, you're paying for the information. You may then have to pay for the tools, but they wouldn't say, I can't help you unless you
give
pay
me this outrageous
this
sum of money and I will take your problem away.
So if you do go in somewhere, or like I said, to a fair or whatever, or a street thing or whatever, use your better judgment. If someone starts with the gloom and doom to upset you, use your better judgment. If someone tries to tell you you are cursed, do you feel cursed? Use your better judgment if that person says, for more money, I can fix it. Now, that said, you may be, you may have purchased a specific amount of time, right? You may have said, okay, I'm going to go to psychic fair, which is Saturday.
Reading.
I'm going to go to psychic fair, which is $10 for 10 minutes. And I'm only going to pay $10.
But I want the life.
But I'd like an hour's information. So the reader may say, I'm sorry, our time is up,
can't you just tell me, well, yeah, I could, but not in the time available.
So I kind of liken that with the customer. I kind of say, well, look, if you went to the hairstylist and you said that you just wanted wash, cut, and blow dry, and you expected to pay, $30, but while you're there, you decided you want a perm, you're going to be there longer, and it's going to cost you more money, or color, yeah. So if you're going to change the agreement, then you'd have to abide by the new agreement's time frame or financial agreement. Because the reader's time is worth money, and someone else,
it is.
That's how they make their living.
It is. And, pet peeves of mine... It's where people don't show for an appointment that they've made, without calling us. Yeah. I'm sorry, people's time is valuable. If you did that for a health appointment, you get billed. Yeah. So, respect that. We're not boardwalk psychics. We take what we do very seriously. Well, there's a lot of responsibility with it.
We are reverends, so we are doing spiritual counseling.
A lot of what I do is, I think,
absolutely
counseling.
But there is a psychic component to it.
Oh, undoubtedly.
But again, I think that to get a good reading, to get the most out of a reading, you need to be an aware questioner.
A woke querent.
A woke querent. Oh, God, don't bring that up. But
no, you need to be open. You've got to be open to receive.
And you may need to ask direct questions without feeding the reader.
Oh, yes, good point. It is your reading. Okay, it is your reading. If you're the querent, it is your reading. And I'm English. I'll wander off on a bloody tangent somewhere. That's what I do. If you feel like can we get back to this specific issue, please say so. Please, it's your reading.
I have a question.
The psychic's not going to be offended by you going, well, what do you mean by that? Can you tell me more about that? That's perfectly okay. It's your reading. It's your nickel. I love it when people have got a real specific issue that they and we can get meaty with it. We can really dig into there and get into it, But it's a two-way street. There's participation involved.
When you sit down with Rogan, the first thing he says is, what is your question?
No.
And when people say, I don't want to ask you, you tell me. He's like, well, you're going to waste your time. And it's true. Just give a question that doesn't have to be, a download diatribe of your life history. I'm in love with this guy and I'm in love with this guy, and then this happened, 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 and you've spent 25 minutes. No. Just the issue is my relationship with this person. Can you give me any insight about that? Now, that's also an interesting dilemma too, because the person seated in front of you has given the reader permission to read them. The person they are asking about has not given permission. So sometimes it kind of puts the reader in a position of psychic spying.
Yes, it is a bit, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying there. That can be delicate situations as well.
Melanie's saying Rogan and Hannah have been wonderful at helping clarify murky things. Yep.
They're very good. They're both of them. And we'll do Hannah's story one time, because how we found her was just ridiculous. You talk about stars aligning, definitely.
Mike Rito says, helpful after so many bogus readings. I could have saved so much money.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. There are people who will exploit you. There's people who'll exploit you in anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything from a driveway paver to a dodgy vendor on a street corner. There are people who are trying to make a buck out of, not doing the right job.
You will know as a client if the reader is just fishing. If the reader is fishing, they're not psychic.
Oh, especially if they want to know questions about your financial security.
Oh, God. But anyway.
Don't walk away. Run.
No, that said, though, readers are not... There's no one who's 100% psychic. So if someone sits down, I might say to them, I'd like to help you as best I can. I get the sense that you have a circulatory issue, but I am not sure if it's diabetes, hormonal, heart, but I get the idea that there's some sort of circulatory issue. And then the person might fill in a blank and say, why, yes, I've just started, I just found out that I'm type 2 diabetic.
I'm trying to explain this. Lisa is clairaudient and clairsentient.
And clairvoyant.
You see shit as well? Mm-hmm. Stuff. Sorry. We're swearing a lot this morning. So with the clairsentient stuff, you kind of just know. And yet it's very difficult. You might sort of, I know there's something not right with what's going around you in your circulation, not necessarily energetic. I mean the physical stuff that's going around your body.
So then I might have to ask a question, because
what does that mean?
Right.
It's because it's not. You have to understand. It's not. A lot of the stuff that I pick up isn't even in English. I don't know what the hell language
it's like a weird
is,
download.
but it's like And sometimes what I'm saying is making no sense to me whatsoever, and the person's sitting there with their mouth wide open, go, "How do you know that?" I don't know that. I still don't know that.
It just comes out of the wall.
With me. Yes, I believe the walls talk.
The last bit of advice I'll give before we pull card of the day, because we've been talking a long time.
Yes,
is don't take another person in with you
unless it's a couple's reading.
Unless it's your mate and it's a couple's reading, right? People get very upset. Can I bring my friend with me?
Who am I reading?
No, for a few reasons. One, you're paying for one reading, so I don't want to have to sort out the friend's stuff too. Two, I might say, oh, look, this is all about your brother Steve. I don't have a brother. Oh, that's my brother. So now you're wasting your reading again on your friend. Or there may be something that you have buried down so deep you don't want your friend to know. And I'll give you an example. Obviously, I'm not going to name names.
Oh, better not.
But I had two young girls insist they were like sisters, and they didn't have a single secret from the other. One wanted to take notes for the other, and they were both going to get a reading. They both paid, and they wanted to sit in there for the hour, and one take notes for the other. And I knew before we went in that it was not a good idea, but they insisted, so I allowed them. Well, guess what?
Stuff.
Something came up, that one young lady didn't want to tell anyone in the world.
This, honestly, you can touch stuff, and I've had this happen. I've had people have crazy cathartic experiences where something comes to light that you didn't even know you'd actually repressed for that long, because it put a dent in you so badly at the time it happened that for whatever the sort of processing in our minds, our self-defense system locked it up, put it in a compartment.
But spirit sees the opportunity to help the person.
You're carrying this around with you, and it's sucking energy from you, and you don't realize that. And all of a sudden, to fix a problem, you have to accept there's a problem to be fixed,
right.
and disassociating from it and locking it up and putting it into a compartment somewhere.
Well, you can survive that way, but you never really heal it.
It's still the 6-foot gorilla in the room. It really is, even though you may not, you've repressed it. It's going to come out. If we've got deep-seated issues, if you are genuinely there, pure of heart, pure of intent, and you want to really address the problems to move forwards with something, you may not realize that thing you've been holding on to for so long is the very thing that's stopping you getting where you need to be. And sometimes that comes up, and it can be painful. As I said earlier, we can face uncomfortable stuff in a reading. That doesn't mean it's doom and gloom, because it's not. Sometimes this catharsis is an amazing part of the healing process,
My motto is, anything can be fixed. The only thing we can't really fix or change is dead. So if you're not dead yet, you can
He's getting better. He's not dead yet.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, a reading should be, as the person who's trying to get the most out of a reading, as the person who's paying someone for that counsel, it should be an uplifting, inspiring time, even if there is all kinds of crap to wallow through. The reader should be able to give you something to help you make your situation a little better.
And we're very blessed with the people that we have in our spiritual family. They are.
That's the reason that people feel so wonderful when they come in, is it is a collective energy.
What we got the card for today? Talk about messages.
The Knight of Cups.
Emotional messages.
Yeah. I'm going to say that Capricorn, to me, is one of the most misunderstood signs.
I second that.
Everybody thinks that they're very cold and very controlling. And they sometimes can have a hidden agenda, but...
They might have an ulterior motive.
They have an ulterior motive for that hidden agenda, or a hidden agenda for their ulterior motive.
I know.
And that's just Capricorn. They're ruled by Saturn. They like control. They're earthy.
Will domination.
But my reading for today is, because we have full moon that brings in emotions, we have a cup card. Because it's the Capricorn full moon, we have that hidden or reality. So I'm going to say some kind of information may come to you today that you receive in a very emotional way, but you can use it very logically and practically. So pay attention. Don't get lost in the emotional message. Use it to your advantage.
Emotions are good things, though. They really are. Even though Capricorns don't like to show them, I think still waters run deep. But I mean, they're, although not a water sign, but
obviously this isn't a Capricorn
card. No,
it's a messenger. But I'm talking about the circumstance of today, Moon in Capricorn. That's where I got that from.
I always think this card to me, when it comes up, and sometimes in context, it's like you want to go somewhere that's going to suddenly. Talk to your spirit, directly to your spirit. If you had opportunity to go stand on the edge of the Grand Canyon or Sedona, Arizona, or see this incredible, beautiful water running past and all that kind of stuff. I think there's a need for release here and emotional communication. And emotional communication generally is non-verbal. It might involve music, it might involve art or poetry, paint something. Sometimes, we get that, head of steam that builds up inside us, and we need that release. And we're talking about it, that way to just express ourselves emotionally, or to receive emotional expression. And I think this is very much about receiving that emotional expression. The circuit of force doesn't work unless there's something to receive that. So be aware, as Lisa says, of the messages that you get today, and don't let it throw you, take it, use it to uplift you. Ideally, is the thing, uplift you. And I think this is all in all. I love this card. It's a very positive card. You know, very much mercurial, very messengerish.
Oh yeah, it looks like Hermes or
Hermes Trismegistus. However, I can say it. Trimegistus. I can't say it. I can't see
thrice
English.
Great.
Yeah, thrice great Hermes. I'm new to English. I'm from Birmingham. You have to understand.
All right.
So I'm still struggling.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Don't forget
so
that
much.
Saturday is Psychic Fair from 12 to 6. Readings are $10 for 10 minutes, and I think we have at least 6 readers, maybe more.
See, this has just proven that you have an ulterior motive for your hidden agenda.
I do.
The whole thought
well, I'm also
Thursday
ruled by
was all about...
I'm also ruled by Saturn, but I'm Aquarian.
The whole thoughtful Thursday thing turned out to be a plug for Psychic Fair. Which is
no, but if somebody comes across this today or tomorrow and they think I'd like to have a reading, they can start with a $10 reading. They don't have to jump in with 50. So
yeah, no. The thing I would tell you though, and this is the case, and it's happened to an awful lot of people who've come to me for a $10. Sometimes, very, very occasionally, we can nail it in 10 minutes, especially if it's like a one question.
One question, but
we can nail it. But sometimes people come, with expectations.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
All of that, righting the world's wrongs. Not possible in 10 minutes generally. So please understand that, what can I get another 10 minutes? No, because there's somebody probably right behind you.
Yeah, you can go out and book again.
Yeah, my counsel to you is, it's better to, and it's not just if you're seeing me, whoever you see it,
can only
allow
so
yourself
fast,
sufficient time, all right?
Yeah.
And
you know your issue. If you've been dealing with your issue for a year, 10 minutes is not long enough.
It's going to go faster than the blink of an eye. I'll give you an example. We came online just a little before 11. It's 11:36 now. So there you go. That's like one of our longest 11s. Probably everybody's had to go back to work or whatever. We're going to get more coffee now. And
all right.
We got so much admin.
We're going to make candles today. And we've got
club candles to make.
Plans for world domination to hash out. And
it's well, it's full moon in Capricorn. Of course, we're going to do world domination.
All
That's
right.
what
Thank you
do.
all so much.
Thank you. We love you guys.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you
tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. Yes, of course.